Alright, so today guys, I'm going to be going over my World War II US Infantryman impression. So, we're going to start it off with uniforms, and then we're going to move on to web equipment, and then personal items. So, we'll start it off. I have my wool pants with my utility belt. Don't know the date on them. Then moving on, I have my combat jacket. This is an HBT. This is an earlier war example with the brown buttons and not the metal buttons. And it does have a serial number on it and a name. I have yet to do some research into that. Then to go along with my HBT uniform, I have my HBT general purpose hat. This one is dated 1944, I believe. Or maybe it was, no, it's for 1943. You can see, nice label there. This one is in really good condition. And then we have my wool shirt. Just an undershirt. No date on this one. The tag has worn off, but it does have the size tag. And all the buttons are still there, and it's in good condition. Have my garrison cap. I think this one is as dated as well. If I find it, dated 1943. Then moving on, I have so this is similar to what they used. This is not an original, but this is just a wool sweater, and they did use these wool sweaters that look similar to these. They'd also be issued some that were brown, and I actually found this in my closet, and it had a zipper on it, and all I did was cut off the zipper, and then that's what I use. So if it's cold out, I use that. Then I have duffel bag. This is a 1944 dated duffel bag. It is also named somewhere on here. And then I have a sleeping bag. This is a wool sleeping bag. Again, I do not know where this one's dated because the tag is worn off, but zipper's intact. Alright, then I have my gaiters. These ones are in a little bit of salty condition. That's why I use these ones a lot. There is a company, WW2 Themes. Now, unfortunately, I broke one of these strings trying to put it on once. But otherwise, it is in pretty good condition. Everything is still there on them. And then for my boots, I don't have reproduction or originals. I just use these. I found these at a secondhand store. And they look similar to what they used, especially if you put the gaiters on top of them. So that's what I use for my boots. Now I'm going to move on to web equipment. So here is my complete haversack setup. I'll move on. I'll do the haversack itself, and then I'll move on to some of the other web equipment. So I go over here. So I have my model 1928. This is a model 1928 haversack. I have my model 1928 haversack meat pouch. This is probably the worst condition part of the haversack I have. I am going to try and replace it at some point. But if I can get it open. Inside, I have my mess tin. And this one is actually named. I don't know if you can sort of see it. Has a serial number on it too, I think. Or T3 is what it says. It's probably company. And this one is dated 1943. And then also in my meat pouch, I have a 1944 dated knife. And I got this at an antique shop for like $2. Put that back in there. Then I have my e-tool and e-tool cover. This one is dated 1945, I believe. The cover is post-war, but it works. Yep, dated 1945s right there. In pretty decent condition. Then I have a wool blanket around it. So this was commonly done towards the later part of the war. They would strap their wool blankets or their sleeping bags over the sides, and sometimes they'd fasten them with a piece of string. I don't know when the blanket is dated. It is in really rough condition. Then I have my haversack, which is in really good condition. I got this at an antique shop for $10 actually. Then I have my cartridge belt, which I recently got. I don't know when it is dated. It's a later war cartridge belt. And then I have one block. These are empty or spent cartridges. These were blanks. And then on my belt I have my first aid pouch, and I have this really nice metal first bandage. And there's the company. It's right there. I actually got this for free along with a pistol belt and a canteen. And then I have my canteen over here. I don't remember what it's dated. I think the canteen, the cover is dated 42. And then the cup, the canteen's dated 44, and I believe that the cover, that the cup, which is in there, is dated 43. But I'm not going to pull that one out. And then the last thing on my belt is, or the second to last thing on my belt is my PAL 36 combat knife. Now this has an interesting story. It was found aboard a Navy ship, and a Navy veteran who I met up with, who served for 8 years. I met up with him a few years ago after he retired, had just retired, and he found this on the ship, and they were about to throw it out, and he kept it, and then he gave it to me, which is pretty cool. So it has a story behind it. Then moving over to the last thing on my cartridge belt setup, I have a GP bag. Now this is interesting because this is a British gas mask bag, which was then converted to a US GP bag. It has M1911 or M1910 hooks that were added onto it, as well as it's stamped US, which is really interesting. But I have heard that these have been made occasionally. They're harder to find though. And then I have some extra web equipment that a soldier would have most likely been issued. So I have M1910 pistol belt, just an extra first aid pouch. I believe this is dated 42. Yeah, it is dated 1942. Then I have another canteen, just for the sake of the video. I brought it out so I could show the cup off. So this is what a cup would look like. This one is dated 43. Then I have another canteen, which is dated 1942, I believe. And then I don't know what the cover's dated. Actually, the cover is dated 1943 as well, so I think it's a complete 1943 set. Then I have, and I can't remember for the life of me the model of these suspenders, but these are 1945 dated suspenders. So if you didn't want to, if you didn't want to run around with a haversack on, you could put these on instead. And then I have a I don't remember when this is dated, I think it's dated 1943 musket bag. This one's in really rough condition, but I brought it out for the sake of the video. Alright, then moving on to the rest of my equipment. I'll do my helmet next. So, we have a most likely 1943 produced McCord M1 helmet. This is a front seam helmet and a fixed bell helmet. So, there's the front seam right there. And has a little rust on the top, but it's actually a pretty good condition helmet. Has its original liner. Got a little bar there. Focus. Alright, there we go. This is a fixed bell helmet, so the bail is welded in place, which is really cool. They're kind of rare to find like that. Then it has its original khaki chin straps. Then the liner is in rougher condition. Some of the webbing's coming apart, but it is pretty cool. I had to add the liner chin strap, though. It was missing, but I got it at an antique shop for a pretty decent price. And I'll pull this out. Now, most likely, this was the liner was was reused most likely back in like Vietnam, and it has some decals on it, and it has a lieutenant. I think it's lieutenant rank on it. But it is a World War II produced one. I think it's a firehouse liner, but someone can correct me. It has the markings in there, if I can. There. Those are markings. I'm not familiar with the different liners, though, so I'm not quite sure which company produced it. But I do believe it's Firehouse. But yeah, that's my McCord, M1 McCord helmet. Alright, moving on to the next thing. Alright, this is my gas mask bag. Now, I'm not familiar with the name of this one. I do believe it's a light service gas mask. But I'll pull out the gas mask that I have in it. And again, I'm not familiar with the name of the gas mask. I think it's like an M3 light service gas mask, but so here's my gas mask, and this is actually pretty interesting. I got this at an antique shop for $5. It's in pretty rough condition, but for $5, it's a really, really good price. So there is my gas mask. And then I have my bandolier, which I know it's for an M1 carbine, and this is an M1 Grand setup, but it's all I have right now. And I have some stripper clips in there. Alright, and then still on the gear, I have my shelter half and some stakes. Alright. I think all that's left is my personal items. Well, I have some more issue stuff. So I have my pineapple grenade. Now the actual grenade is original. The spoon and the top are not. They're reproduction. And there are markings on it. You can see them sort of right there. It's a little blurry. Yep, that's my grenade. And then I have this is what when you get a new grenade, this is what it would be in. This is what they'd come in when they were getting shipped overseas. Pop the top off. That's what it looks like on the inside. Alright, then I have some rations. These are most likely not World War II, but for the sake of the video, I thought I'd pop them in because C rations were starting to be made and issued during World War II. So these are some C ration units. So this is a B1A unit, which is crackers and candy. Then we have peanut butter. And then this is World War II. This is a field tablet ration heating. You can see they're right in there. And then we have some P38s, which are the can openers. And then we have some matches. These are modern day, but that's pretty much what they looked like. And then some toilet paper. And I have this is a cricket. They use these on D-Day, and the airborne used them. But it's a cool little thing I had. So, I have some of my other personal items include, I think this is a PAL 36 hunting knife. This is most likely from the 40s. Let's see, what is it? PAL 24. Then I have some money and random change. I have some pennies that range from 1938 to 1945. And I have some 30s dime, or rather 5 cents. Those are the Buffalo ones. And I have a little pouch to keep them in. I have a New Testament Bible. I'm not actually sure when this is dated, but I'm pretty sure it's from the 40s. Then I have a 1943 dated Coke bottle. Now, this is something I just throw in for the fun of it. Something maybe like you captured from a dead German soldier. This is not original. This is something I found in a pouch. Or I found in that, actually, because I bought it from someone. He said that his kids played with it, so just had that. Then I have the Stars and Stripes newspapers. Thought these would be cool to throw in. My lighting is off. I have, this one is dated 1944. This one's also dated 1944, and that one's dated 1943. I just thought these were cool. And then moving on to some of the last things. I have, it's a Kodak 35, I think, camera. I'm going to get it open. So this is, so this is a Kodak 35 camera. And these were actually what the war correspondents would have been issued by the military. They would have been issued a green version or the civilian version. This is a civilian version. This is 1942 dated, I believe. It's in really good condition. This thing pops up. And it has its case. Then in here, we actually have some more toilet paper. And then I have some field dressings. I have, these ones are the standard issue, so you'd either be issued these or you'd be issued this for your first aid pouch. I have 2 of them. One is open, one is not, and these are dated 45. Then I have, this is a 43 dated bandage that I'll pull out here. This is a medium bandage, I think. And that's what the back of the box looks like. And that is everything. So that is my World War II US Infantryman impression. Thanks for watching. Make sure to leave a comment, like, and subscribe. See you later.